Greetings, people of the tarot. This is AVR to Lavender Moon. I wanted to discuss the work that we're doing with the Forbidden Mysteries of the Faery. And I've also been reading my book, The Living World of Faery by R.J. Stewart. And I thought, because this really goes along with what we're doing, this book has a lot more reading in it. Like the Fairy Witchcraft has a lot of exercises, visualizations, and stuff to do. So in the meantime, I thought I'd do some extra reading just for it. So I found this in the beginning, and I thought I would share this with you. The first one is called The Fairy Song, from the Immortal Hour by Fiona MacLeod. The Fairy Song. How beautiful they are, the lordly ones, who dwell in the hills, in the hollow hills. They have faces like flowers, and their breath is wind that stirs amid the grasses, filled with white clover. Their limbs are more white, their shafts are moonshine. They are more fleet than the March wind. They laugh and are glad and are terrible when their lances shake. Every green weed quivers. How beautiful they are, how beautiful, the lordly ones in the hollow hills. And I wanted to read you this. This is an extract from an 18th century journal in the author's possession, the author R.J. Stewart. And it's just interesting, and I thought this would be interesting. So maybe I should call this part of the series Fairy Tales. Something like that. Okay, here we go. This is an account of my communion and confrontation with the people of the light, commonly known as tripling darlings, Orpheus or Alfar, which is elves. Now the Reverend Kirk, who went into their place in the last century, says that they do appear as furious, hardly hosts, rushing at the seer from all four directions. This I would agree with, particularly at the onset of seeing when they put us to the test. Yet he also said that they are of human appearance, and this is not always so. But as to those who say that the people are small and weak, they lie dismantly. For even those who say that the people are small and weak, they lie dismantly. For even the smallest among the host have powers more than those of a strong, hardy man, while many of them are so great in stature that they defy our common sense and power of recognition. When the greatest of them knock upon your door, you will not easily let them in, for some cannot cross the threshold, as a dwelling will not accommodate them. Thus you must work to enlarge your abode and make its spaces clear. Now, as to the arguments or logical points, I will defer to the learned Reverend Kirk, who has assembled so many in his little treatise that I will be wasting labor to duplicate them, having a finely copied notebook of it on my shelf. But there are many details from fine and cross that he has omitted to write, either from sensibilities or the constriction of the church. Such details I shall record and present in this account to find out, give flesh to, and preserve certain aspect of our intercourse with these spiritual cousins of fairies. In time, after my own removal to that place which I earnestly desire to attain, this account may also be circulated among the brethren, as that of Kirk is now. To this end I have set aside a small sum for a copyist. There are many classes or orders of the people of light, with their own habit, lives, structures of the tribe, family, and the like. Some are well known to mortal men and women. Others are invisible and hidden away. Yet they will emerge at certain times bidden appropriately. And in many of these hidden orders that I shall treat here in details, as those commonly placed brownies, helpers, grain and cattle wards, and well keepers are widely known and still have intercourse with the country people. Yet there is more secret art by which the hidden orders are found, and this shall be the core, the pearl of my account. This art I first learned in confused, then clear dreams, as did the prophets and sibyls of old, but also from an aged woman cottager in Devonshire, and some Irish Scottish seers in the Virginias in the colony. Thereafter is given to converse and learn direct with the people in their own manner according to their realm, element, and hive or tribe. When Rev Kirk writes that women are not seers, he is mistaken. I deem this not to be a lie, however, but a projection of the woman of his own family, for he got the Faery bloodline from his mother, as he tells us if we know how to read him. By this deep art one may reach through pools, into hills and trees, and meld with stones, and come at last to the halls of the people of the light, who are within the body of the land. And they may also come to you, for the threshold, once open, may be crossed in either direction. You may see with their eyes, and they likewise shall see with yours for mutual learning. I just thought that was so interesting, and so goes to with what we are studying. And they also have a really long visualization where they are looking into a hole, and from that hole is seen the roots of a tree. And the roots of the tree go down so that the tree is reversed. So they enter the tree on the roots, and they climb to the top of the tree where they arrive in the land of the Faery, which I found very interesting. So I thought I would share some of these with you as an aside. Yeah. And then there's more to the story from the ancient book that I will read next time, so it's not too long. Although, maybe I should read it now because it is rather funny. No, I'll save it for next time, but it is rather funny in a way. So we will go into that next time. I just thought it was really great to share. So, Amber, the upside down tree where you enter through the roots and you climb to the top of the tree, which lands you into the fairy realm. I thought that was extremely interesting. And I did the journey, and it was fun for me in some ways. I think I'm going to keep it pretty close to my heart. I'm not going to share too much of the journey, except when I was writing it down in my book, that kind of like automatic writing, it came out that I have had many lifetimes living as a fairy. And I guess that means we can have lifetimes in different realms, which makes perfect sense. Why would we always incarnate as a human? You know, we can incarnate as other beings too. I'm sure some of us I'm pretty sure I've incarnated as an animal before. That would make perfect sense. Why not incarnate in other realms? It just felt like meeting an old friend that I hadn't talked to in a long time. That's what I will say. I felt like she was a long-lost friend. Even the Fairy Queen. I would say a sister. She was like my sister. And that would explain a lot after writing that out, that I incarnated as that before. And it makes perfect sense in a way. It's kind of like, really? What? You got to be kidding me. But then the more it sinks in and the more, you know, a couple days go by and it makes perfect sense that we would not always incarnate as a human being. There's so many other possibilities. And yeah, and I think I will add about my experience, and it was quite startling. We had, I don't know why, but we had a praying mantis in a jar for a long time that we kept alive. I don't know why. Except I was told they were very rare. Years later, probably about several years ago, I was doing a meditation, and a guided meditation with other people. I wasn't by myself, but it was a guided meditation. And in the meditation, it was, I don't remember it all, but it was seeing a crystal, a large crystal. And on that crystal, I saw a mantis being. And I have heard of mantis beings. So it really startled me because it looked like a mantis, but I believe it had some human characteristics. So it was quite startling. So if you've ever seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, in the end sequence, I'm not sure which one it is, but there's the smaller people and the smaller beings and the humans that walk into the ship. And then there's this really tall, lanky-like being. And that's kind of what this mantis reminded me of, sitting on the crystal. So it was a little shocking. It wasn't that big, but it was, you know, humanoid size. So that brought it up when I just listened to Amber's video. So I'm making this right after hers, even though I had intended to make this anyway. It was just decided I felt like getting it done tonight. So I am going to end for now. So many blessings, people, and be wild.